what Republicans are saying now and so on, that they will suggest demilitarized zone inside Ukraine based on those territories which have been already occupied. But as now, as I see also some kind of discussion inside our political cycles and leadership, it's unacceptable. Then the next steps, what we will be, what we will have as a finished conclusion and some deal. I don't know how to name it. It depends. Again, depends during the development of the situation in 2, 3, 4 months.
Reports have emerged that he spoke to Putin over the phone last week and urged the Russian leader not to escalate the war in Ukraine, though the Kremlin has since denied the call took place and described it as pure fiction. With Trump promising he could end the war within 24 hours, there is real concern that that could lead to Ukraine being expected to concede some of its territory. I spoke earlier to Mariana Bezuhla, a Ukrainian MP and member of the Ukrainian Parliament's Committee on Foreign Policy and Interparliamentary Cooperation. And I asked her how much concern there is in Ukraine about Donald Trump's imminent arrival in the White House.
The challenge is that he can just cut or just stop the overall the help. It's really challenge, but we cannot say just now, taking that we because it's even unclear how Russia will communicate with US. We will see it next month, as I previously said. Actually, the clear vision will be only in 3, 4 months. We hope that there will not be some kind of decision to stop help us. And as he said, as far as I remember, also about that Europe should care about and so on. But from other side, if he insists while communicating with the European leaders that they should be more involved in solving this conflict as the Ukrainian-Russian war, it can have even positive effect.
And we have had a suggestion of perhaps some kind of buffer zone around the front lines to keep the two sides apart. But that would imply, again, Ukraine giving up some territory. What do you think of that?
We cannot give our territories to the enemy. It's illegal, and our citizens are against this. In fact, we lost a lot, and there can be new territories be lost in during these months. But if to speak about some kind of demilitarized zone, it should be demilitarized zone outside Ukraine. So it should be borders of Russia should be without weapons, that we should be sure that they will not go inside our country. Of course, I suppose, and it's quite obvious, taking into account all that what Republicans are saying now and so on, that they will suggest demilitarized zone inside Ukraine based on those territories which have been already occupied. But as now, as I see also some kind of discussion inside our political cycles and leadership, it's unacceptable. Then the next steps, what we will have as a finished conclusion and some deal. I don't know how to name it. It depends. Again, depends during the development of the situation in 2, 3, 4 months.
So let me just ask you finally, you've been very critical of the conduct of the war, of the way this war against Russia has been conducted. Do you think that there is a growing concern there in Ukraine about the way that it's been conducted? And do you think that perhaps people in Ukraine might actually want President Zelensky to look for a peaceful solution now?
You see, Russia cannot make the peaceful solution. Yes, I am very critical, sometimes on the edge uh, of possible, actually, all the scope of critics, because a lot of mistakes are being made by the uh, also military leadership. And my first comment when it was clear that Trump won the battle, his political battle, was that if his team will stop everything, all the help to Ukraine in the form that only real transformation of the security service and Ukrainian armed forces, and in that case help, I will be fully supportive.
Well, that was Mariana Bezuhla, Ukrainian MP, speaking to me just a little earlier here on Times Radio.
The Kremlin on Monday denied reports by Reuters and others that Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke by phone with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump in recent days. The Washington Post first reported the call had taken place, citing unidentified sources, and said Trump had told Putin that he should not escalate the Ukraine war. A source told Reuters on Sunday that Trump, who has criticized American support for Ukraine and has said he will end the war quickly, had spoken to Putin in recent days. But in an unusual move, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Monday no such call had taken place. Peskov added there were no concrete plans in place for the two to speak.
Yesterday, I spoke with President Trump.
Trump also spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Wednesday. Ukraine's foreign ministry said it was not informed in advance of the call between Trump and Putin, and therefore could neither endorse or object to it.
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
Trump will take office in January after winning the November 5th presidential election. His call with Putin comes as President Joe Biden plans to urge Trump not to abandon Kyiv. Biden told reporters he will meet with Trump on Wednesday at the White House. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said on Sunday that Biden's top message will be his commitment to ensure a peaceful transfer of power. He will also talk to Trump about what's happening in Europe, in Asia, and the Middle East. According to the U.S. Government Accountability Office, Congress appropriated over $174 billion to support Ukraine under Biden. Trump has been critical of the scale of that military and financial support.
But this invasion of Ukraine would never have happened if I was in the White House, not even a chance.
And has said Putin never would have invaded Ukraine if he had been president at the time.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. And it will take me no longer than one day